Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up for you. You're going to hear from Stuart Alderoty on the ruling in the case and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.2 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 5.1% here. But what we see when we see the screen here, Bitcoin 60,700 plus, Ethereum 2,600 plus, Tether $115.6 billion market cap. USDC at the number 6 spot, 34 billion plus market cap. XRP 58 cents now, off by 3.7 on the 24 and up 2.4 on the 7-day. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's look at the range of price here. As we can see, obviously there's been a price correction and a retest, as they say in the market. It was ranging between 58 and 64 cents. We've just come off the bottom of that range at 59 cents. We'll keep an eye on it. But let's get started here. Look, the judge approves $12.7 billion settlement between FTX and the CFTC, bringing 20-month-long lawsuit to an end. And this is interesting to me because, you know, this a $12.7 billion settlement ruling quietly happens underneath of the Ripple ruling. Isn't that interesting? I didn't hear. This almost got by me. A $12.7 billion settlement on the FTX debacle case, which I solely hang over the head of Gary Gensler. It's either incompetence or collusion that allowed that to happen. I'll let him answer the question, but it's one or the other. Isn't that interesting? Quietly ended yesterday. Meanwhile, Russia legalizes crypto payments. They know what's coming. Russia's State Duma has passed a groundbreaking law allowing crypto payments and mining from September 1st. So this is just starting in 1 month here. This bold move aims to bypass Western sanctions and keep trade flowing. All right. Well, you hear it then. We're going to keep an eye on exactly how they're going to get that done beyond what they're already doing. Now, we know BRICS Coalition has a new payments platform. Could that serve as a part of that? Will this be strictly limited to within side of Russia? They do say it is for payments, allowing crypto payments, right? So this is going to get really, really interesting, ladies and gentlemen. So keep an eye on this, and we will too, no doubt about it. But I want you to hear this very quickly here. This is Michael Saylor on the war in D.C. Will the Harris team back off and support crypto? Take a listen.
Senator Warren, who I just read, is building an army to take down Bitcoin. If Kamala Harris wins, it looks like this time around D.C. will go to war. Have you had a chance to speak to anyone in her camp?
You know, I've spoken to people on both sides of the aisle, and I think that the more progressive politicians realize that there's a digital transformation in finance. BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, and Fidelity are illustrating it with their actions. Crypto and Bitcoin is going to drive outcomes in November, and you see people on both sides of the aisle that get it. And on Main Street, companies need this kind of digital capital if they're going to compete in a modern digital era.
Well, this is interesting because I want you to take a look at this. Well, look at this. We had a new meeting with crypto executives and the Democratic leaders, and it ends up turning heated, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, the juicy deets from Ro Khanna's second meeting with crypto industry executives and advocates of White House officials. It turned ugly, they say here. Look, this is crazy. The Democratic Party keeps trying to say they can do this. A virtual confab designed to repair relations between the crypto industry and Democrat Party turned ugly Thursday morning. Yesterday morning. Now, we come into this thing, and they tried to mend fences. Attendees from crypto side include billionaire tech entrepreneur investor Mark Cuban and Anthony Scaramucci, who's a scumbag, and venture capitalist Democratic donor Ron Conway, and a handful of executives from Ripple was there, Coinbase, and Kraken. Instead of finding common ground, the industry executives lashed out at the White House officials largely over regulatory assault from agencies like the SEC and the Federal Reserve. People who attended told Fox the meeting seemed like a replay of the roundtable Kana hosted in Washington, D.C. last month when the industry executives aired their grievances to a senior White House official about the unfair treatment they received under Biden. And then it goes on to say executives didn't hold back on telling the administration reps how damage they've done to the crypto industry and the Democratic Party with their actions against digital assets. An attendee who wished to remain anonymous told Fox they basically just got yelled at. Then there's another tense moment when Wally Adeyemo told attendees, who's an under-treasury secretary, that banks and regulators weren't actively trying to cut the industry off from broader financial system. Hello, does anybody remember Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank? Jesus, Wally, are you alive? What the hell is going on here? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. All of these people are left. All of these people are liberals. And they're pissed off that their own party hasn't done for them what they thought they would do for them. Paul Grewal, chief legal officer for Coinbase, also came away with a positive perspective. How in the hell could he come away with a positive perspective when I just read you how the meeting went? He said this was a Biden administration meeting, but the focus now has to be on the Harris campaign and what they're willing to do. He said, she's the perfect candidate to be a strong new face for crypto and make a break in the past. Please, I mean, getting on your knees, for God's sake, is all what I see going on here. It's all of these people, these Dems, these these liberals who are really coming out here and just cannot believe as much support as they have shown as a Democrat supporter, that they would be so against everything that they're doing. When are you going to wake up? This is why you shouldn't subscribe to a party. Because they'll throw you in the gutter in a heartbeat. They're serving the interest of banks. Crypto's not big enough. That's why they're leaning into the banks. Come on, we all know the answer here. Well, check this out. Donald Trump says he will not drop a meme coin, but instead drop a larger platform to take on a lot of the banking world. Oh, really? So could this be an announcement, something to do with the X platform? I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm speculating. I don't know what will happen. But I know X is just around the corner. And when they said that the Trump and his administration or his son or whoever would be dropping something new and had a major announcement, the first thing I said to friends was, well, I hope he's not dropping another meme coin, NFT, or sneakers. I hope it's meaningful. Don't pump fake us, man. This is not the time. Let's listen real quick to this. This is James Metal Man Murphy right here breaking down. Here's why the SEC might choose to appeal the Ripple judgment. We will know in 60 days or less. Take a listen.
My guess is that they will appeal. And there are two things that appeal would include, at least two. One is this decision on disgorgement is very, very impactful for the SEC's entire enforcement program. If they can't get disgorgement without proving losses, it impacts significantly pending cases as well as other cases that they would like to bring. And you might recall that we discussed this on a prior show, that while the Ripple lawyers deserve tremendous credit for how they've managed this case, and John Deaton's part was very important in this case, did a wonderful job, great job by all involved, including the leadership of Ripple to not buckle under, and settle and fight this thing. Give them all the credit. But there was a lucky break here as well. And that was at the end of last year, the Second Circuit changed the law. For my entire career, which was long, there was no requirement that on a securities violation like this, that the SEC had to show any losses. The Second Circuit changed that last year. in between the time that the summary judgment was decided in this case and the remedies was decided, they get a binding precedent from the Second Circuit that basically kicks out disgorgement. So the SEC hates that, and they think it is wrong. And there is a split in the circuits. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has ruled that you don't have to do that, show losses. The SEC doesn't have to. So there's a split in the circuit. And so I think the SEC is likely to want to take that up on appeal. Is this the best case in the world to take it up on appeal? Maybe, maybe not. But that's number one. But the even bigger issue, Scott, is the question, the trillion-dollar question. Is it okay to trade tokens on the secondary market? Are those securities transactions? And Judge Torres said, with respect to XRP, the sales by Ripple, the company, as well as Ripple executives on exchanges are not investment contracts, do not violate the securities laws, are okay. And so that impacts the other cases, Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, others. And the Binance judge followed Judge Torres's reasoning. And so the SEC doesn't want this to snowball. So this
they don't want it to be precedent, basically.
Correct. So this issue is the most important issue, really, to all of crypto. And so the only question is whether the SEC concludes that this is the best case to take that question up. And remember, Scott, they already tried once. I'm not going out too far on a limb here. They sought interlocutory appeal after the summary judgment because they were so horrified by the impact of the ruling on, XRP trades in the secondary market.
That's a great breakdown, but I want to give you this last clip here too. And if the SEC does elect to appeal, here's why Ripple would likely file a cross appeal. Take a quick listen.
So anyway, you asked about appeal. Those are the two things that the SEC might appeal. If the SEC appeals, then it is highly likely that Ripple will cross appeal and argue that the judge got it wrong about the institutional sales and certainly got it wrong about the ODL sales, that neither of those were, in fact, investment contracts that satisfy the Howey test. So this happens all the time. If the other party appeals and you didn't have a complete and utter total victory, then you cross appeal, to
appeal the appeal.
Yeah,
that's
how that works.
So there you have the rest of that. We have a look. This isn't over until we get past those 60 days, right? Because we need to find out what the SEC is going to do. And if we've learned nothing else, we know not to trust the SEC for anything. They even get caught lying in cases. These are federal cases. But look at here. We got the one and only. It's Stuart Alderoty himself. Shout out to Riz XRP and Jack the Rippler. Take a listen to this clip here. Cancel all the noise. Stuart Alderoty's coming to town.
Let's talk about some of the next steps here. By when is Ripple obligated to pay that fine? And when that happens, is that the end of this chapter that started back in December 2020 when the SEC slapped Ripple with charges? Or do you expect an appeal from the SEC? Can that even happen at this stage? Or are we finally done with this legal battle?
Well, in our minds, we are finally done. The fine pursuant to the court's order needs to be paid in 30 days, and we will do that. The SEC certainly has the option to pursue an appeal. I think they've got 60 days to make that determination. But again, we're focused on the finality that this order gives Ripple. We want to focus on continuing to grow our business, both globally and domestically. We like the clarity that this lawsuit and the outcome of this lawsuit has provided to us. And that's where we're going to be focused on. And again, if the SEC is a rational actor, and they are, and this administration truly is serious about hitting the reset button on their war on crypto, there should be no appeal, and everybody should be moving on.
Let's talk about.
You just can't break it any down there. But as he said, if the SEC is a rational, is the word. Rational. So they haven't been up until now. And that goes for any case across the board. They've not been rational. So brace yourselves. But I do want to say this, and I'm not a lawyer, but even if there is an appeal, I don't think people should get down on Ripple or XRP if you're an XRP holder, because I think all it really proves is just how important XRP is going to be to the world and the financial system. And I would offer that even if there is an appeal, the good news is that we have rulings that the chief legal officer from Ripple is completely satisfied with, that it doesn't harm their business at all. They won everything that they needed to win, and the SEC lost everything that was important to them.
Half of the entire crypto industry. This administration, with this SEC under this chair, has clearly taken an anti-crypto stance and has engaged in a war on crypto that's playing out in the courts. I think they lost on everything that was important to them. Trying to establish that a token itself, in this case XRP, can be considered a security was soundly rejected by the court. And what the court said is a token is never a security in and of itself, just like a bar of gold is never a security. You can certainly package commodities or virtual currencies up and sell them as securities, but they're not securities in and of themselves. And that's the core clarity that we sought in this case. And the establishing that XRP is not in and of itself a security is the law of the land.
And there you have it, right? Now, when will we see ETFs for XRP? Take a listen here as a reminder. 21 Shares talks to Paul Barron.
Here, this is our interview with 21 Shares. We were talking a little bit about XRP and an ETF. Could that be a possibility? Remember, it's not a security now, so could this play into the hands of asset managers out there going into an ETF strategy? Take a look. Not a security, because there's no futures needed there. Why not see an XRP maybe go to market much faster here? What are your thoughts on that?
We listed the world's first and have the world's largest Ripple ETP. We're bullish on XRP as an asset. We've published a lot of a lot of research about it. I would say that it's absolutely part of our product vision and ambition globally, not just in America.
Okay. Part of their product vision globally, not just in the US. So I don't know, guys. Maybe this is heating up much faster. Could we see a lot of more bullish news coming out? Remember, Swell is happening here in Miami, so there could be a few things lining up here.
There really could, and I think kudos to him, because I've highlighted the fact that Swell is going to be in the United States, in Miami this year, and I think that's fitting, knowing that we should be seeing the launch of the real U.S. dollar on the XRP ledger and the Ethereum network, exposing that to more than $400 billion worth of active market cap every single day. And then you factor in, if we don't have an appeal on the Ripple case in 60 days, how long would it take for us to actually see an XRP ETF here in the United States? Things are getting interesting, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going into the freedom zone. It doesn't stop there. Censorship is real, and we're going in here, and we're going to talk about some very serious stuff today that's happening around the world. And the country that is now arresting people for free speech. You can't make this up. This is absolutely real, ladies and gentlemen. This is why the woke culture's got to go away, because it is tearing the fabric of our lives apart across the planet. We're going in right now.